Gather around, everyone. Anthony is doing a sketchbook tour.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Anthony, your 83rd favorite artist on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and all that sort of stuff. Today, I am back with another sketchbook tour. This is a sketchbook that I likely completed in the year of our Lord 2025, as I've said in previous videos. This is just the artistic ramblings of a man who needs therapy. Let's kick this thing off very quickly because I can really feel like I'm talking too much. First of all, these are sketches or studies that I did for a Freaky Friday live stream event. Over at SVS Learn with my friend Lee White. Every so often we get together and we find subject matter that is just interesting, weird, or compelling, and we try to draw it in our own style. These were little figurines, actual physical 3D objects, and man, that was a super fun session. In particular, I really liked this creepy doll thing. It had lots of twine to it and stuff like that. When I'm copying from other incredible illustrators, creatives, and things like that, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to adapt what their sensibilities are to put that back into my creative world. So I love character design. I love like emotional characters and silly characters and things like that. And I'm always just trying to find like what those creative moments are going to be. These studies, as silly as they are, help me find that character. So I can adapt shapes like this into my own personal work. This was a little cactus that then I made into a creepy butts out little pickle character. Moving on. Every so often we do a thing called
The Wheeler of Doom
over on my Twitch live streams. This one was a really fun day. I had a good friend, Rob Mamartz, participating with me, and we spun our wheel of stupid ideas. And the first stupid idea that we had to deal with was my favorite pumpkin. Here's the deal. I really like the idea of this sketch. I love the idea that there's a man, his name is probably Greg, and he's kissing this pumpkin. Here's the thing that just angers me, is I made this little cheek line look like his mouth. Now, once you see it, you can't unsee it, okay? His lips are here, his cheek is here, but that looks like his mouth. I want you to really know that that's his mouth. He's making out with that pumpkin. He's gonna French kiss it. This prompt was hilarious. My friend, Silent Spoons, shout out Spoons, he said in the live stream, some days I really hate birds. I thought that was just really funny, so I put that on the Wheeler of Doom. It won, and this is my character Gil, who has a bird on his head. I thought it was funny. Another prompt here, suitably moldy. I love to draw slices of pizza. This is a suitably moldy slice of pizza. Because Rob Mamartz and I share like a mutual love of Star Wars. Rob is an incredible Star Wars artist, and I asked him if we could draw mind Star Wars characters. So this is Darth Vader from just my mind. No reference, just Darth Vader. So I couldn't look at any pictures. To do a good job. His was awesome. Super fun page here. So chaotic draw along prompt cards. I said that really weird, but this is a thing that I've created to help artists get out of their head and help children in classrooms and things just always feel creative. We pulled 3 prompt cards on the stream: Witch, Annoyed, and Bony. It's fun to see the evolution of where these things start and stop. So this was my first sketch. Then I went to this one. I like the idea of like an annoyed witch who was dealing with like a really sweet little witch. This did not work. I tried, didn't work. There's no bones in there. And then I added in gnarly teeth. And then I honestly saw a sketch over on Pinterest, and I was like, what if I make her mouth look really big and weird? I ultimately drew my first version, and I finished it, and I was so happy with it. It turned out exactly the way that I wanted to see it. This one, I do not remember all of the prompts, but these were also from the Chaotic Draw Along prompt cards. Clearly Cthulhu. which is a super fun word to say, but an impossible word to spell. Ultimately, in my mind, I had him as a detective, like just out there solving crimes in eldritch corners or something. More chaotic draw along prompt cards. Don't quote me on this, but I think skeleton, royalty, but I don't remember what the descriptor card was, what the personality card was. Just whatever. But I really like this. I want to come back to this. I have not returned to it, but man, I think it's fun. I like the idea of this demonic one, but honestly, it just kind of reminded me of the Ice King from Game of Thrones. This had to be more Wheeler of Doom. Remember, 6 O's. This would be a mercat. I need to write these things down. That's a mercat. I don't remember. I don't remember. I think it had something to do with prairie dogs, but I don't know. I had already drawn like a big brainy thing previously, so I don't know what that's even about. Okay, so this was a really fun one, but I hate this drawing. This is a scribble monster. Hate it. I hate it. I should rip it out right now. You know what? You kiss your sketches and you throw them goodbye. I hated that one, so I redrew it as a much better scribble monster. This is my scribble monster. His name is Larry, but he has 3 R's in his name. This is the, for Wheeler of Doom, this was the prompt of Zap. I love Flash Gordon.
We are gonna party like the 80s.
This would have been a Freaky Friday over at svslearn.com. Again, one of the things that I like to do is I like to draw the photo reference. This would have been clearly a man in a Speedo. I like to draw it the way that I see it first, and then I like to do a quick action pose or a push pose sort of after that. In this particular sketch, if I can find a colored pencil, I noticed on over here that there just wasn't enough energy. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to apply some force to this guy's back, which would then push that belly out. This one, I don't remember. Now this one, however, was a sketch that really propelled me into a creative territory. Lee had found an image of a man living in 1960s Britain where he had this weird coat with like all sorts of balls. I thought the idea would be really funny is if I drew it as a kid, instead of balls, they were more like balloons, like pimples, but they had helium in the. And then I really started on this whole idea of like what happens if all of a sudden his body just started to inflate, and then he flies up into the air. More chaotic draw along prompt cards, adorable, paper bag, and wizard. And again, this was just a page of just messy sketches to try to find concept, character, idea, momentum, and it looks like a huge mess, and it really is, but I can piece through all of this to get to a final piece of art. This is a Wednesday workshop that I hosted where I really wanted to focus on taking images of humans and exaggerating the heck out of them. So actual photos of real life people. There is this wonderfully beautiful older gal that we have used and found photos of, and I love to draw her. She's always got these incredible accessories or hairdos. She's awesome. So this is me drawing her. This is a man who unfortunately I gave a little bit more of a beak. He kind of reminds me of a penguin. And then saying that, he kind of reminds me of like if I was gonna draw Oswald Cobblepot from the Batman, I would probably do a nose just like that. This was this beautiful woman who had this incredible nose, and I accentuated the heck out of it. I really flattened her forehead. This was a boy who looked like a Ronald Weasley kind of guy, red hair, freckles, and I just love the way that the nose shape work. This is more Wednesday workshop, taking photos of humans and then drawing them, but exaggerating. Same lady as what we saw earlier, but I really wanted to give her this beak. I thought that was so fun. And then that hair, I really wanted to play up the idea of like this big, crazy, like 1800s haunted house kind of thing. and then really just deal with these jowls down here. This was a man whose face I exaggerated the heck out of, and I gave him ears that could pick up satellite signals. This one, I think this is probably my favorite page. We found this lady who had this incredible forehead. And I made it worse for her. There's something about these sketches that has unlocked, it's unlocked something for me. And you'll see that in future videos, I hope. This is a Freaky Friday event that I hosted with Lee White. In this one, we got into the Wizard's Keep. So we were just recreating what we saw, imagery from fantasy. So we've got a wizard, we've got a potion bottle, we've got a bunch of books, and then I think back here, there was this like really neat scepter, and I was like, oh man, I just love to draw skulls, so I drew a skull. And on this one, we looked at some reference from, there was this like incredible Dumbledore illustration. So I did my version of it, but I really like flipped it and changed a bunch of things. And then I have gone since, and I've taken what I drew and really manipulated even further to do like a big Dumbledore piece. That's the power of a sketchbook, is that you start in one place, you manipulate, you play, you goof around, you let things happen, and then you're able to find the exact moment to then be able to transition or translate it over to a finished piece that you can sell or put on the internet or burn in a pile as an effigy to your career that's gone nowhere. That is another sketchbook review. This is a super awesome sketchbook. My name is Anthony. If you like sketchbooks, you should buy some, because I sell them. They're the best sketchbooks on the market, made by a guy named Anthony. Also, I don't understand how people get found on social media and YouTube anymore. I don't know. But if you could just press all of the buttons that people press to get things to get done, that would be great. If there's a bell somewhere, you can just punch that bell right in the face. If you would like more of these sketchbook review videos, you have to yell from the hills that you would like more sketchbook review videos. Because if you don't yell from the hills, I will never hear you and I will never do them again.